आज हम लोग वेक्टर एनालिसिस के बारे में पढ़ेंगे। दिस इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ फिजिक्स फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द फिजिक्स। वेक्टर एनालिसिस के पहले हम लोग फिजिकल क्वांटिटीज के बारे में थोड़ा जान लेते हैं। फिजिकल क्वांटिटीज आर दोज क्वांटिटीज विच कैन बी मेजर्ड and by means of which we can explain the laws of physics. Most of the physical quantities are divided into two groups, scalars and vectors. Here first of all we talk about scalars. Scalars have only magnitude and described by a number and a unit. The examples of scalars are mass, volume, speed, work, energy, etc. So our mass is described as 5 kg. Here 5 is the number and kg is the unit. A speed is described as 20 km per hour. Here 20 is the number, kilometer per hour is the unit. Work is described as 10 joule. 10 is the number, joule is the unit. Scalars follow the laws of algebra for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Suppose the mass of 3 kg and 5 kg are added, it gives 8 kg. They are added by simple algebra. Scalars are denoted by simple letters. As for example, mass is denoted by m, speed is denoted as v, work is denoted as w. They can also be denoted by small letters like m, v, w. Next point is product of two scalars is always a scalar. When density is multiplied by volume, it gives mass. Here density is a scalar, volume is also a scalar, and its product mass is a scalar. Also it is to be noted that a scalar quantity changes only by change in its magnitude. A scalar quantity cannot be resolved into components. This is all about a scalar. इसके बाद हम लोग वेक्टर क्वांटिटीज के बारे में बात करेंगे। अभी थोड़ी देर पहले हम लोग स्केलर्स के बारे में पढ़ रहे थे, अब वेक्टर्स के बारे में पढ़ लेते हैं। वेक्टर्स आर दोज क्वांटिटीज व्हिच हैव मैग्नीट्यूड एंड डायरेक्शन। एज फॉर एग्जांपल फोर्स, वेलोसिटी, मोमेंटम, एक्सीलरेशन एटसेट्रा, दीज आर वेक्टर क्वांटिटीज। करंट हैज बोथ मैग्नीट्यूड एंड डायरेक्शन, बट इट इज नॉट अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. Why this is not a vector quantity? Because it does not follow the law of vector addition. It means that for a quantity to be a vector, it should have magnitude, direction, as well as it should follow the law of vector addition. So only magnitude and direction is not the complete condition for a quantity to be a vector. A vector quantity is described by a number, a unit and orientation. Orientation means direction and sense. We say that a force is acting on a body in vertical direction. What does it mean? It may be vertically up or maybe vertically down. So vertical is the direction, but up and down are the sense. 25 Newton force due east. 25 Newton force due east. Due east. Here 25 is the number, Newton is the unit, and due east is the orientation. To describe a vector quantity, a number, a unit, and orientation, means direction plus sense, are required. It to follow a vector quantity follows the law of vector addition. The different laws of vector additions are triangle law of vector addition, polygon law of vector addition, parallelogram law of vector addition. इन सब के बारे में हम लोग कंपोजिशन ऑफ वेक्टर्स के अंतर्गत डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे. The vector quantities are denoted by bold-faced letter. Bold-faced का मतलब जैसे ये A है और एक साइड इसका डार्क होता है. जैसे फॉरेन ऑथर का जो बुक होता है उसमें वेक्टर को इस ढंग से रिप्रेजेंट किया जाता है. हम लोग जो बुक पढ़ते हैं उसमें वेक्टर क्वांटिटीज आर रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय ए लेटर with arrow over it. It may be a small letter or capital letter. This is also a vector A. Product of two vectors may be a scalar or may be a vector. Force and displacement are the vectors. The multiplication or product of force and displacement may be obtained as work or may be obtained as moment of force. When force and displacement are obtained as work, this is called a scalar product of vector. A scalar product. Here force is a vector quantity, displacement is a vector quantity, but work is a scalar quantity. If we multiply position vector and force vector, we obtain the torque vector or moment of force. Here position vector is a vector quantity, force is a vector quantity, and torque is also a vector quantity. Thus we see that the product of two vectors may be a scalar or may be a vector. In case of a scalar, product of two scalars are always a scalar. But here, product of two vectors, sometimes it may be a scalar or sometimes it may be a vector. It depends upon the method of multiplication. One is called as a scalar or dot product and second is called as vector or cross product. इसके बारे में डिटेल में हम लोग बाद में पढ़ेंगे. A vector changes either by change in magnitude or direction or both. Suppose a particle is moving in a circular path with uniform speed. The magnitude of velocity of particle is constant at every point, but its direction is changing. Its direction is changing, and we say that the velocity of particle is changing, although it has constant magnitude, but the direction are different. When a body is projected vertically upward, the direction of velocity is upward, is fixed, constant, but the magnitude of velocity is decreasing. And we say that the velocity of the projected particle is changing. when a body is allowed to fall freely, the direction of velocity is constant, but its magnitude of velocity is changing. In case of projectile motion, the magnitude as well as the direction of velocity is changing, and we say that the velocity of particle is changing because both magnitude and direction are changing. इसके बाद हम लोग geometrical representation of vector means how a vector is geometrically represented, what are the properties of a vector quantity, इसके बारे में